I want you to first start with your name.
Hey, my name is Atlantis.
All right. So how do you feel about Black History Month?
Black History Month. Ooh, I did not come prepared.
It's okay. Just go with your heart.
Black History Month, I feel like it's one of the greatest months out of the year. It's a chance where I get to learn more information about my history and background. I just love how we all come together and are able to celebrate Black people, because throughout the year, we get so much discrimination. It's a lot of crazy things going on. So I just feel more at peace than Black History Month. I feel more happy just for my culture to be celebrated in our ways.
Say again?
Charlotte?
Yeah. All right, what's up, Charlotte? So how do you feel about Black History Month?
I like it, but I think like Black History Month is every month.
You think it's everyone's?
It's every month.
Oh, every month.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because why should we be only subjected to 1 month, you know? And February has the least amount of days.
That's facts.
My name's Jackie.
Jackie, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Too.
Appreciate that. How do you feel about Black History Month?
I feel like Black History Month is something that's really important, and I'm very happy that there's a community of people that take the time to really celebrate it. I also feel like it's something that shouldn't just be 1 month of the year. I feel like every single day should be Black History Month, and I feel like oftentimes like social media, people like hype up Black History Month and like go super hard for like people of color during that entire month. But as soon as March 1st hits, it's all
gone.
over, and it's like we kind of need that hype every single day.
I'm Zachary Hauk.
How you doing, Zach? You good?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You know, good, hanging in there. So how do you feel about Black History Month, man?
I think it's important. I mean, honestly, Black history is American history.
Carlos Cosby.
Carlos Cosby, nice to meet you, my boy.
Nice.
All right, I want to ask you, how do you feel about Black History Month?
Do you mean like as it exists, or do you think should it exist?
Both.
I'm glad that it exists. Like, I think Black people need like our history to be like recognized. I think in a perfect world, Black History Month wouldn't exist because Black history would just be interwoven into like regular world and American history.
And how do you see that, like, in a perfect world, how do you see that being interwoven?
I would just say like showing that Black people have been present throughout aspects of American history, like, from the colonial period to now. We've been here forever. Like, you can't have America without Black people.
That's facts.
If you take like a Black museum, most of them they're not owned by Black people, so it's not Black people benefiting off of their history. But then again, it's still showcasing Black art and Black intelligence in a way. So I think it's a win-lose situation.
Even if a lot of it is like performative, there is just a lot more awareness, I guess, of Black activism and like what it means to actually support the Black community rather than just saying like Black power, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you think we improved from the 1960s to now?
Yes, like integration is a good thing, I guess. But now that there's no legal discrimination anymore, like the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act meant there's no legal basis for discrimination, even though we still know it implicitly still exists. I think that can make it harder to actually make a case for discrimination nowadays versus in the 60s.
How do you feel about the parallels between the violence today and the violence of yesteryear?
Unfortunately, I'm not sure much has changed in that. There are still people in this country that unfortunately do commit violence against, Black communities, against minorities and whatnot for, these terribly sinister purposes that have existed for hundreds of years. And I mean, again, from being from the South, I grew up in a culture where I did see that. I mean, but I think what's important is that these people that just refuse to integrate into the American culture, be educated.
But I'm not the best person to speak about this because I'm from like the African diaspora.
So when did you move to America?
I was born here, but I came back when I was 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, my parents were, like, African parents, and I always feel like it's important for African Americans who've lived here longer to speak on experiences like that. Because I can't give you... Because my grandparents' recollection of America is nothing versus an African American's grandparents' recollection.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how would you compare the experiences of living in Africa to living in America?
It's totally different.
Totally?
Totally different. Because Africa, everybody's Black.
So you don't even know about racism for real?
Yeah, it wasn't until like when I came here. That's when I was like, oh, I'm Black. But in Africa, I was just like, no, I'm Cameroonian.
You was like, I'm just here existing within my own people. So as a black woman, how do you feel existing like in the current like social climate?
It's very uncomfortable in the current social climate, just with all the discrimination we face. I just was watching the news the other day where the police went into this black teenager's house and shot him dead because he had a registered gun in the house for self-protection when they went and busted in his apartment. So it's just crazy, like how you're not safe anywhere. It's like, okay, you can do certain things to you can dress appropriately or drive safe, but you know, it's just certain factors that'll still get you pulled over, put into those uncomfortable situations, even in your own house, which should be your safe space. So it's just very uncomfortable knowing that that can happen.
I appreciate you taking the time out, Atlantis. Yeah, of course. I appreciate you taking the time out today, man.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you taking the time out for this, man.
course.
Thank you. I appreciate your answers, man. Thanks for having the
Thank you
time.
very much.
Time, man.
No problem.
Thanks, bro.